Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles the Bandsman, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So everyone has kind of been reacting to this beef, this back and forth that has been taking place with Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James over the past week. We all kind of know the footnotes at this point. We know where things are, but nevertheless, various people are still reacting to it. I just even heard comedian D.L. Hughley react to it just yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? So people are still chiming in, but one person we didn't get a chance to hear from is a future colleague of Stephen A. Smith at ESPN and Charles Barkley. Now, all of you guys know Charles Barkley is easily the most outspoken person in all of sports media, at least in NBA media. I think he's the best that we got going. I reiterated this point yesterday on the show that we produced, and I still feel that. Charles Barkley just calls it down the line, tells you exactly what he thinks. He's not going to sit up there, twerk it up for you, pander for you. And that's something that a lot of people endear and a lot of people also dislike about Charles, right? But nevertheless, he always keeps it 100. So what happened? Yesterday, he made a visit on the Dan Patrick Show, and he goes there quite a few times every single year, and it's no different this year. So he went on the Dan Patrick Show. They spoke a little bit about college athletics, in particular college basketball, and then they decided to address the elephant in the room, which was this messy public feud between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. It really kicked off a number of months ago when Stephen A. Smith made those comments about Bronny James after the game against the Sixers. He made the comments about LeBron as a dad, and then LeBron subsequently approached him at the Lakers game and blah, 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 blah. We all know all of that. But then things ratcheted up to a next level when ramped up to a next level when LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show this week, and he voiced his opinions and views on there, and things really hit a fever pitch, and then everybody, like, all hell broke loose. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Charles Barkley had to say in response to this back and forth between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James, and then we're going to come back and get into his comments. Take a listen to what Chuck had to say here.
Who had a better week, LeBron James or Stephen A. Smith?
They both had an awful week. LeBron, he's too big to be that type of bully. To bully Stephen A. and to bully Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst is a sweet person, man. He's just trying to do his thing. And I've always liked LeBron, but him being a bully, it turned me off, Dan. But I will say that Stephen A., the way he reacted was so lame and weak. And Stephen A. is a good dude, man. For him to react, LeBron, like I say, I blame him for starting the bullying, going on Pat's show just bullying people. Because, you know, LeBron, he's a control freak. He knows everything he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows everything he's doing. He knew when he walked up to Stephen A. what he was doing. But the way Stephen A. reacted, going on Gilbert's podcast, talking tough, and I said, come on, man, you're better than that. So there's only losers, Dan, in this scenario, us as the sports media. You got the biggest star in the game. You probably got the biggest star on television, and they both look bad, in my opinion. And what bothers me the most, they both good dudes. Like, I don't mind people who are looking bad. I don't mind that at all. They deserve it. But Stephen A. is a good dude, and LeBron is a good dude. But they both look really bad this week. They both had a bad week, to answer your question. LeBron started it, and Stephen A., I'm not sure what he was trying to do. He just made it worse and worse and worse. And then I saw the thing last night. We had to come out and apologize for saying LeBron didn't go to Kobe's memorial. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Well, they both know what they're doing. They both get attention. They like attention.
The one thing you can always say about me, I ain't never had personal attacks on people. I've criticized people. That's part of our job, telling the truth. It can never be personal.
But are you searching for attention?
No.
They are.
Yeah, but it's not good attention. See the problem. Okay, that's a great thing you made. In my day, any publicity was good publicity. Remember that old saying?
Yeah.
But the problem now is when you put BS out there now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Louise got an opinion. And they're going to make it worse. That's the problem with the thing. Like I say, and I hate to talk about my day. In my old day, yeah, you got publicity, good or bad. It was actually probably a good thing. But the problem is every fool, idiot, and jackass got an opinion now because they got a computer. And that's what made this whole thing so bad. Because a lot of LeBron haters are on fire right now. The Stephen A haters are on fire right now. You can never give BS to the world because those people, they got no life, Dan. I told you, these people who live with their parents, they live in the basement, they don't have a job. All they do is sit around and click and talk about people on their computer. That's all they do. And the problem is, Stephen A is a good dude and LeBron's a good dude. And you're going to have fools and idiots talking bad about them. And that's the thing that sucks. But LeBron pissed me off when he went at Brian Windhorst. Because Brian Windhorst is a good person, man.
Yep.
I don't know him really, really well. But I think he got a pure heart. He's just trying to do his job. He's out here catching strays.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say. He essentially believes that there are no winners in this feud. He believes that it's a bad look for Stephen A. Smith. He viewed Stephen A. Smith's response as weak. He even said that things really got out of hand when Stephen A. Smith went on Gil's Arena and really started talking tough and all of that stuff. And then I think LeBron obviously heard that. And then LeBron reacted to him on the Pat McAfee show. And then Stephen A. Smith went back and forth. So Charles Barkley said that he didn't like the direction in which Stephen A. Smith took it. And of course, there was a Kobe Bryant thing. And I want to say this quickly. So Stephen A. Smith said, on ESPN First Take that why wasn't LeBron present at Kobe's memorial service. We did a live about it, reacting to what Stephen A. Smith said. And then subsequently, we found out that LeBron did attend. And I took down the video on our channel. I took the live down some days ago. So I didn't feel like it was right to keep that up, given the fact that it's not true. I just assumed that, given the fact that Stephen A. Smith is an insider, when he would say something like that, he would know it. But then obviously he went out there and put out a public apology, so we took it down. So we got it wrong there. So he didn't like that part. And then in part of LeBron James, he said that he didn't enjoy the fact that LeBron came off as a bully, when naturally he believes that LeBron is a nice guy. Look, this thing got out of hand pretty quickly. And these guys forgot their positions. Stephen A. Smith forgot who he was, and LeBron James forgot who he was. And what you saw there was a moment where these guys were reacting, I personally believe, as normal people. They forgot about their brands. They forgot about their status in society, and they just reacted as normal people. Right. So for a moment there, you got a authentic reaction from both of them. Now, from a PR perspective, and all the other things surrounding them, obviously it wasn't a good look. But I think these guys were being candid and on how they truly feel. When Stephen A. Smith said he doesn't like LeBron, I think that's what he truly felt. And I think that it's good to understand what people think genuinely. Now, maybe is the platform the wrong place, like ESPN? Possibly. I don't know. But I appreciate when people say what they truly believe. Look, Charles Barkley has done the same thing too. Not to LeBron James, but he did it to DeMarcus Cousins. He's like, I don't like him. All right. And he can whoop my ass and all of that stuff. So people have their moments, right? LeBron had his moment too, where he was just a person. That's why when they had that spat at the Lakers game, I didn't like Stephen A. Smith's response because it was too politically correct. It didn't seem natural to me. It's like, bro, we're waiting for a more natural response, and that's what you got. Now, some people felt like it was bad. Even the commissioner, Adam Silver, weighed on it. And it wasn't something that he was particularly pleased about. But nevertheless, look, these are human beings, right? And I think at the end of the day, people forget that. People say, oh, you just don't react this way. Yeah, that you can do that up to a certain extent. to a certain point. But at the end of the day, these are still human beings, right? These are still human beings. And people can be offended. People could take issue with things people say. After a while, people reach their breaking point. That certainly was the case for LeBron James. Then Stephen A. Smith reached his breaking point where he got tired of being politically correct. And then he voiced his opinion. It's a human thing. So I don't fault them the way other people fault them. I thought that it was natural. It was natural. You've seen Charles Barkley and Shaq go at it. These are human beings at the end of the day, for God's sakes. They're human beings. So it was natural. It was only natural for them to respond the way that they did. Obviously, people took various sides. Some people are all on the LeBron side. Some people are all on the Stephen A. Smith side, which is fine, right? My thing is everybody should be allowed to be able to take a side and have an opinion, right? I don't think that it's right to try to silence a particular group from having an opinion just because you disagree with it. That, I believe, is wrong. If you agree with everything that LeBron did, have at it. But if there are people that agree with what Stephen A. Smith did, they should be able to also voice their opinions. This is just my view on things. But that's just what I think. What I want to know from you guys, what do you think about our analysis? What do you think about what Charles had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.